gorgeous! How the heck do you set good SMART goals anyway? Well, we're going to dive in today and I'm going to show you 6 common pitfalls that people fall into when they're setting SMART goals and how to avoid them. Let's get going. Welcome to the Powerhouse. Vanessa Long here, coach, trainer, and creator of Discovering Your Passion and Purpose, the Seasons of Success seminars, and the Party Goal Getting System. Here are 2 mistakes that we're not even going to cover today, and they are the 2 biggest mistakes that people make. One is they don't set goals at all. They just go, screw that, and they're no goal setting at all. 2 is that they try to hold it all in their head. That's a bad idea. So don't do it. So let's assume that you actually are going to set goals and you are actually going to write them down on paper. Well, there's still lots of ways that it can go all wrong. So number 1 is writing goals that are not specific enough. Instead of focusing on one thing, one outcome, one change that you want to see, people set goals that are way too big. They want to change everything right now. So instead of setting a goal like, I want to make more money or I want to lose some weight, people instead will set a goal like, I want to be happier. I want everything to change right now. And what happens is they pile conditions into this goal, and instead of one specific goal, they end up with what I call nested goals, goals within goals within goals, and they're impossible to get. So it's really important that when you're setting your goal, you pick one specific thing that you want to change. If you know that you want to change everything, you're going to have lots of goals, but each goal is one thing. So right now, pick one thing. And if you want to work along with me, make sure you get the Powerhouse Goal Setting Worksheet. It's linked in the description below, and it has spaces for you to fill all of this in. Pause the video and go get that now, and then come back, and we'll get going with mistake number 2. All right, mistake number 2 is kind of interesting. If you're using the Powerhouse Goal Setting Worksheet, you can see it says as if now. Because the second mistake that people make when they're setting their goals is they don't use present tense language. They write something like, I will do this, or I will have that. They push their goal off into the future. And when you push your goal off into the future, you make it almost impossible to get. Why? Well, we're not totally sure, but it seems that it's because time is actually an illusion, and that is a whole other topic that we're not getting into today. But just know that your unconscious mind, which is what we call the goal getter, does not process past, present, future. It just doesn't. It only lives in the now. So when you're writing your goal, you need to tell your unconscious mind that you're getting it now. I want it now, not now, now, which is why you need to use present tense language. The third big mistake that people make when they're setting their goals is they don't make their goal actionable. A good goal is something that you can actually do. A good goal is not something you will have or something you will be. It's something you do. It's action-based and action-focused. Going back to our example of I want more money, it's specific, kind of. A specific statement would be, I have $20,000, but that's not something you can do, so it's not something you can control. It's good to write down that you want to have $20,000. It's even better if you put specifics to it as to why you want the $20,000. It's important to write down your dreams and what you're going for, and there are lots of videos on this channel about that. So within that big goal of having $20,000, you're going to have all sorts of smaller goals that are actually doing focused. For instance, if you're a coach, you need to develop your packages and price them and then sell them in order to get to that $20,000. What will you do? How many discovery calls will you book? How many social media posts will you write? How many networking events will you go to? This is where goals are actually really powerful, is laying out the plan for what you're going to do to get to your dreams. Number 4 is not making your goal measurable. What I like to say to my clients is I should be able to get on the phone with you at the end of your goal period and ask you, did you get this goal? And your answer should be yes or no. with no story. There is no story in a really well-defined goal. It's either yes or no. And it's okay either way, because either way you're going to get learnings, you're going to become more the person that you're meant to be, you're going to move ahead even if you don't get your goal. But if you don't make the goal measurable, we'll never know if you actually got there. With the example of making more money in your business, we need to set a specific amount of money, either a lump sum of money or a monthly amount that you're going to be generating. If you're going to be writing social media posts, how many social media posts are you actually doing that? Yes or no? If it's going to networking meetings, how many? How many per week? How many per month? Have you done it? Yes or no? You see, by making it measurable, we can very quickly check in to see if you're actually doing what you're committed to do to get to your goals. And again, there is so much to this, which is why I created Plant, my course on goal setting and goal getting. Number 5 follows right along with making it measurable, is that it has to be time bound. That is the T of SMART. Your goal must have a date. And because your unconscious mind is so sneaky, that date has to include the day, the month, and the year that you intend to have that goal. Do not skip this step. Make sure that any goal you set has the day, the month, and the year. It's May 31st, 2020. It is now August 25th, 2019. See, it's got to have all 3 components. If you simply say August 25th, your unconscious mind will take that as, hey, any year by August 25th will be just fine. And it's not, because you want it when you want it, right? So make sure you tell your unconscious mind exactly when you want it, and that means time bound with the day, the month, and the year. And if you were listening, you noticed I also used present tense language. It is now May 31st, 2020. It is now August 25th, 2019. All right, the 6th common mistake that people make when they are setting their goals is not making them relevant. A lot of times people set goals that they feel like they should set. You know, the goals that people tell them they should want. You should want to quit smoking. You should want to lose weight. You should want to be married. You should. And society loads all of these shoulds onto us, all of these expectations. And if you're setting a goal, you've got to actually care about that goal, or you will never get there. Or you'll get there, but you'll hate yourself so much and be so bitter about the process that you blow it up anyway. So your goals have got to be congruent with what you actually desire. So let me know that you've got this by writing SMART goals in the comments below. And for extra super awesome bonus points, tell me what your most common goal setting mistake is and how you're going to avoid it from now on. To learn more about SMART goal setting and to get my entire system for setting and getting magical goals that make all the difference for your life and your business, check out my course Plant. It's linked in the description below. So, what was your nugget of gold today? What did you learn, realize, or remember that you're going to be able to use to make your life better right away? Are you going to practice setting SMART goals? What questions do you have? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, click the thumbs up and share it out with your Powerhouse peers. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified when we put up new content, which is every week. And for those of you Mojo Masters who know to hang around all the way to the end of the video, here is your bonus power tip. Another common pitfall that people make when they're setting goals is they don't leave room for the divine. What does that mean? We think we know what we want. We think we know where we're headed. We think we know how to get there. But the truth is that if you've never had it before, if it is something truly new for you, then by definition, it's outside of your comfort zone. By definition, being outside of your comfort zone means you don't have the neurology to know how to get there. It's unknown to you. And one of the big mistakes that we make is setting these tiny little steps that we think are going to work, that we think are going to take us where we want to be, because we think that's where we should want to be. But the truth is, we don't really know what's best for us. And I wish we did. I wish we could totally control everything and know everything, but we are not omniscient. So I always like to leave room for the divine. I always like to leave room for miracles and magic and magnificent synchronicities. Life is actually way more fun that way. And since you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what's outside of your comfort zone and what's actually best for you out there, we want to leave room for more and better. So I take a tip from Jack Canfield. And when I set a goal, I always add on to the end of my goal the little phrase, or something better. Easy, right? It is now May 31st, 2020, and I am generating $20,000 per month in my coaching business, or something better. And then you actually leave room for the divine to make something better happen. And this is one of the best ways to actually create a life and a business that you truly love. Instead of boxing yourself in and constricting yourself and getting small with your goals, you can blow the doors off and say, or something better. Check out the Powerhouse SMART Goal Setting template, linked in the description below, or check out Plant. I talk about that more in both of those. And that brings us to the end of our video today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.